into in our teachings very much yet. Don't worry, we will when we have our community established a little bit more. Because the deity is the center of the devotee community. The deity and worship of the deity gives purpose and rhythm to a devotee's life, so it's very important. Śrīla Prabhupada said, "My movement was successful because I established so many deities." So we also have to do that, and gradually we will institute all of these processes of worship. And finally, 10, one should be very intolerant toward the blasphemy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, or his devotees. But we don't become angry when someone offends us, because after all, we have nothing to lose, nothing to gain in this material world. And we should just be tolerant. If somebody offends us, it's their problem, not ours, Again, if we're free from false ego, we don't think that we have some reputation to maintain or something like that. So we don't get upset if somebody blasphemes us. But if somebody blasphemes Krishna or our spiritual master or another devotee, then we don't tolerate. Then we become very angry and we chastise them according to our ability. So one should not hear or allow others to hear non-devotional statements. For example, we have so many YouTube videos, and when often some rascal will come and make a comment, and in the course of their comment they're trying to forward some different philosophy, usually impersonalism. So we don't want to give the rascal impersonalists a platform for forwarding their nonsense philosophy. So we delete those comments. But we don't care, even if they say, "Oh yeah, you're a rascal, blah, 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 blah." But if somebody wants to blaspheme Krishna, we don't give any scope for that. If somebody wants to say, "Oh, Krishna is nothing, it's just this white light is everything," we don't want to give them the time of day. What to speak of a platform for forwarding their philosophy. So we don't even allow these comments. It's just like if we have some event, we would not allow some impersonalist to speak. Because they're going to defend Krishna. They're going to say Krishna is a non-person. We don't want to hear that, and we don't want others to hear that either. So we're intolerant of blasphemy. Blasphemy means a deliberate offense, not for ourselves, but for Krishna and his devotees. Now we're going to go over the regulative principles regarding the deities, or in relation to the deities. 1. One should decorate the body with tilak, which is the sign of the Vaiṣṇavas. The idea is that as soon as a person sees these marks on the body of the Vaiṣṇava, he will immediately remember Krishna. Lord Chaitanya said that a Vaiṣṇava is he who, when seen, reminds one of Krishna. Therefore, it is essential that a Vaiṣṇava mark his body with tilak to remind others of Krishna. 2. In marking such tilak, sometimes one may write Hare Krishna on the body. 3. One should accept flowers and garlands that have been offered to the deity and the spiritual master and put them on one's body. 4. One should learn to dance before the deity. Maybe it's better if I comment on these as we go. Then there won't be so much to comment on all at once. Well, we already covered marking the body with tilak, and we have a nice video on YouTube describing how to apply the tilak. So we're not going to talk about that too much. In India, you can get these little stamps with the Hare Krishna mantra, or the name of Krishna, and you rub those in tilak, and you actually stamp them on your body. It's really cool. And of course, when you go to the temple, they're going to offer flowers and garlands to the deity, and then they distribute these as prasadam to the devotees. So if you receive the flowers or garlands from the deity, you should put them on. This is very nice. Then you can wear the garlands that have been on the deity's body. 4. One should learn to dance before the deity. Well, that's a whole big deal. There are many wonderful devotional dances, folk dances, especially in Bengal. And once we get the kirtan up to the required standard, when it starts to really cook, that's the time for dancing. So we've been working on our kirtan style more than a year now, and it's gradually coming together as our little group gets more experience. And soon it will be time for dancing. I have a feeling in the temple room of this wonderful house that we're getting would be a really good time, a really good place to introduce the various devotional dances. 5. One should learn to bow down immediately upon seeing the deity or the spiritual master. So we're practicing this in our community, first thing in the morning, especially when everyone comes out of their rooms. We offer obeisances to the deity and to the spiritual master and to one another. 6. As soon as one visits the temple of Lord Krishna, one must stand up. Why do we stand up? To receive the deity, to recognize the deity. We don't remain sitting. For example, if we're in the temple and we're sitting down, let's say studying or something, chanting or whatever, and then the curtains open and the deity is revealed, then we stand up immediately and then offer our obeisances. This is the etiquette. Because the Lord is the supreme. He is our superior. So when he enters the room or when he reveals himself, then we stand up out of respect. This is the etiquette. Everyone should learn this. 7. When the deity is being borne for a stroll in the street, a devotee should immediately follow the procession. In this connection, it may be noted that in India, especially in Vishnu temples, the system is that apart from the big deity who is permanently situated in the main area of the temple, there is a set of smaller deities which are taken in procession in the evening. In some temples, it is the custom to hold a big procession in the evening with a band playing and a nice big umbrella over the deities, who sit on decorated thrones on a cart or palanquin, which is carried by devotees. The deities come out onto the street and travel in the neighborhood while the people of the neighborhood come out to offer prasada. The residents of the neighborhood all follow the procession, so it is a very nice scene. When the deity is coming out, the servitors in the temple put forward the daily accounts before them. So much was the collection, so much was the expenditure. The whole idea is that the deity is considered to be the proprietor of the whole establishment, and all the priests and other people taking care of the temple are considered to be the servants of the deity. This system is very, very old and is still followed. So therefore it is mentioned here that when the deity is on stroll, the people should follow behind. So the idea is that God owns everything. Isha vasyam idam sarvam. The Sri Ishopanishad, the first mantra, everything is God's property. So especially in the temple, everything is the property of the deity. And there's an old principle in India that if you can see the spire of the temple, then that land is considered to belong to the deity of that temple. And the produce of that land is offered in the temple as prasadam. For example, in Jagannath Puri, from very far away, because it's a huge temple, from several kilometers away, you can see the spire of the temple. So that's considered the deity's land. And everything, all the food that is raised on that land is offered in the temple. They have a huge kitchen, and they cook up all these wonderful preparations and offer huge quantities of prasadam to the deity. So this system is very wonderful because it actually creates the spiritual world on earth, where the deity is the proprietor, the deity is the central figure in the whole society, and everyone from the king down to the dogs and cats is a servant of the deity and takes part in the pastimes of the deity. So naturally the deity comes out from time to time and takes a ride around on a palanquin and surveys his domain. In Mayapur, India,